Hey guys, see me showing you the best ways to level up your pets in Hypixel Skyblock. So we're going to be going through different skills for leveling up pets, and we're going to see which one's the best out of those skills. And at the very end of the video, we're going to see what's the best way to level up your pet out of all of those skills. So I'm going to be using this flying fish pet right here as an example for leveling up pets because it doesn't boost any wisdom for any of the skills that I'm going to be testing today. So let me be testing the amount of XP per hour. I'm going to be using the max level pet right here to see how much total XP I have before I start the method. But for example, if I start the method with 2.2 million XP, and then after I end up with 2.4 million XP, I'm going to subtract those, so that's going to be around 200k, and I'm going to multiply that by 6, so that should be around how much you would get per hour. Hopefully I explained all of that right, and now it's time for us to start with the methods. So the first skill we're going to be doing is mining. Since you're going to be mining for experience, you probably want to focus on mining speed, since fortune doesn't give you any more experience, it just gives you more items. And you probably want to use mining spread because that mines more blocks whenever you mine a single block. And we have this perk right here on Heart of the Mountain tier 4, which gives you some more mining wisdom. But I'm using the Van's armor right here, titanium equipment, dwarven hand warmers, and a 655 drill. And here's all my mining stats right here. And then right here is my mining wisdom. So for the first skill experience method is mining mithril up here, right above the Divan's gateway, right next to the Great Ice Wall. And we're going to be mining the mithril right here to see how much experience we get in 10 minutes. Alright, so the 10-minute timer is up, so it's time to see how much experience we got. So it looks like we got 397,000 experience in that 10 minutes. So that means it would be around 2.3 million experience an hour. Next experience method for mining is doing commissions. So each one of these commissions right here give a different amount of experience. So the Dwarven Mine experience is around 7.5 thousand, the Crystal Hollows experience is 15,000, and the Glaciite Tunnels is 22,000. So if you're an early game player, you can probably do the Dwarven Mines or Crystal Hollow commissions for experience, but I'm going to be doing the Glaciite Tunnel commission since that gives the most experience. So what you do is you run around the Glaciite Tunnels, and on Badline you can actually see there's an arrow that points to the closest commission area. So if I follow this over here, you can see it points to the commission, which is my citrine commission right here. And then I mine all the citrine right here, just like that, and now I have the commission done. And I can just collect it right here so I can get my mining XP. And I'm going to be doing 10 minutes of this, so we're going to see how much experience I get in 10 minutes. Alright, so the timer is up, so it's time to see how much experience we got from this method. So it looks like we've got 1 million XP from 10 minutes, and if we multiply it by 6, that means we're going to be able to get 6 million experience per hour. So out of those two I tested, the Glaciite Commissions one is a lot better than the Mithril one with 6 million experience per hour, with the Mithril one being at 2.3 million per hour. But if you're an early game or mid game player and you want to level up your pet fast, you could probably do the Dwarven or Crystal Hollow commissions. And you could probably also go to the barn over here and mine the sand for mining experience. That's so we can level up your pet here as well. So the next skill is combat. And with combat, we're going to be doing a dungeons test by doing floor 6 over here and killing the golems and then going back to the dungeon hub and then doing that over and over again for 10 minutes to see how much experience we get. But this is how much combat wisdom I have right here. And this is the armor I'm going to be using right here, so that's why I can clear the rooms super fast and kill the golems fast. Alright, so the 10-minute timer is up, so it's time to see how much experience we got from that. So it looks like we got around 170,000 experience from that. So that's going to be around 1 million experience per hour. So the next method is killing smoldering blazes right here in the smoldering tomb for experience. And the items I'm going to be using is this Death Reaper dagger right here because I do more damage to infernal mobs, and my Warden Crimson set right here with the Nether equipment set right here. And I still have 107 combat wisdom, so I'm going to be killing these blazes for 10 minutes and we're going to see how much experience I get. Alright, so the timer is up, so it's time to see how much experience we got in 10 minutes. So it looks like we made around 270k experience from that. So that's going to be around 1.6 million XP per hour. So the next method for combat is killing ghosts over here. But the setup is kind of the same. I'm using the same Crimson armor like I did for the Blaze, and I'm going to be using a Hyperion because I don't have a Claymore or a Giant Sword. So I'm going to be killing ghosts for 10 minutes and we're going to see how much experience I get. Alright, so the 10-minute timer is up, so it's time to see how much experience we got. So it looks like we got 92k experience from that. So that's going to be 550k experience per hour. So the best method for combat is going to be the Smoldering Blazes with 1.6 million experience per hour. But if you're an early game player and you level up your pets, you could probably go to the end over here and kill these Endermen, or do Slayers. So the next skill is farming, and this is how much farming wisdom I have, and there's a lot of methods you can do for farming, such as giving items to these visitors because they can give you farming experience, or going around the plot right here and killing these pests for experience. And just from killing those pests, I got around 20k experience. But the main thing you want to farm over here is mushrooms, since that gives you the most farming experience. So it's time for me to do a 10-minute timer, and we're going to see how much experience I get. Alright, so the 10-minute timer is up, so it's time to see how much experience we got. So we got 96,000 experience from that, so that's going to be around 570,000 experience per hour. Alright, so the next method is foraging, and I'm going to be using regular foraging armor right here, the mangrove equipment, and David's cloak with this axe right here. And I have this much sweep right here. And you can also go to the heart of the forest, tier 4, you can upgrade foraging wisdom right here. So I'm going to be foraging fig trees over here for 10 minutes, and we're going to see how much experience I get. Alright, so the 10-minute timer is up, so it's time to see how much experience we got from foraging fig trees. So it looks like we got 430,000 experience, so that's going to be around 2.5 million experience per hour. So now it's time to forage mangrove trees to see if that's better than fig trees. Alright, and the 10-minute timer is done for mangrove, so it's time to see how much experience we got from that. And we got 350,000 experience, which is 1.2 million experience per hour. So I'm pretty sure the fig trees are going to be better than the mangrove ones. And that's going to be all the methods I have to show today. And the best method is going to be the Glaciite commissions with 6 million experience per hour. But be sure to let me know in the comments of what kind of videos you guys want to see me make next. And be sure to leave a like if you guys liked the video and subscribe for some more amazing videos.